Donnie B, GotDaBeats.
Good evening, everybody. You already know what time it is. It's Donnie B got the beats. You live on the beat, man. Thank you for tuning in. I took a brief hiatus, man. I needed to stretch my legs, but I'm back working. And you know when I come back working, I come back with that dope talent, as I always try to do. If anybody knows what this is, you know what I got to do. I got to give you the glorious intro, man. We got to do the glorious intro. So check this out. Watch it. So today's guest, man, I had to throw that in there, man, because I gotta be extra with what I'm doing. But today's guest, man, this brother is one of the dopest MCs I've ever come across. I mean that wholeheartedly. I met him with shout out to Military Fresh Network and my time with them. This brother was making waves, doing his, just the way he came across with his personality, the things he was talking about. He was not scared to touch anything as far as situational conversation, social media, just things that needed to be spoken about. This brother was not scared to touch it. And for me, I'm that person. I'm like, I don't necessarily have a problem or a filter with saying how I feel because it should be said, at least in my perspective. And I wish more people would be like that. I wish more people would be like this brother here. This brother he works hard, not only, and I apologize too. I want to apologize to you, Ray, because in the intro, I said that you were just a national recording artist, but you're not just a national recording artist. You're a CEO. You're an entrepreneur. You got your hands involved in so many things. So I apologize. I should have put more to that because you aren't just that label, But without further ado, got to say all of that to be said in the glorious intro. Today's guest is the Marine rapper. Shout out. What's going on with you, brother? How you doing?
Yo, Donnie B, what's up, man? Thank you for having me. Shout out to everybody who's watching right now. I appreciate every single one of you. And I appreciate you, giving me my flowers right off the bat. I really appreciate you. You're just such a professional and just so talented and skilled in your own right, whether it's production in the show and producing and everything. So I just want to say thank you for even having me on the show. So thank you, man.
I appreciate that, brother. But like I said, the pleasure is all mine. You guys do all of the work. I just go try to see if I can navigate behind y'all to showcase and spotlight what y'all do. But flowers is definitely what we try to do, what I'm saying, with our platform. But nonetheless, let's get to this thing, brother. Let's get to this thing. So tell everybody about who you are. Who is the Marine rapper?
Yo, what's up? My name's the Marine Rapper, aka TMR, or just Raymond. So basically, I just go by the Marine Rapper because people were like, "Oh, that Marine Rapper guy, that guy who's from the Marine Corps and rapping." So I just went with that moniker. But my name's Raymond. I'm just I'm a military brat. Everybody in my family's been either in the Marine Corps or law enforcement. So if you follow me on social media, you'll see a lot of that type of stuff. You'll see me share my uncle, my dad, my cousins. So I'm a person that's in a long line of Marine Corps veterans, combat veterans, overseas veterans, things like that. I'm also just a creative. I'm a musician. I'm also a producer. I'm an executive producer. So you'll see a lot of things come out on my page, and you'll see me post and promote another artist, because I also have another thing that I do is all military label, and that's called Ninja Punch Music. So, and I'm an entrepreneur and a businessman because I have degrees in business as well as music. So I just have my hands in a lot of different things, but I just call myself as a creative and a musician, and I just like to help each other I like to help a lot of people out too at the same time. So you'll see a lot of different things, whether it may be a visual artist or an audio artist, or even just like a military veteran, or there might be a business that's trying to get their name out there, and I'll post them on my page. I just like to show the love and spread the love, and just spread that vibe of humanity, and show people that we can be people. We don't have to just be a label. That's why I break it down and I say, I'm not the Marine rapper. I'm not just the Marine rapper. I'm also Raymond. I'm a regular person. I'm also a sibling. I'm also a father. I'm also a son. I'm just a regular dude. And I think if we get back to that humanity and kind of like break down that ego and kill that ego, I think this world would be a better place, because a lot of people like, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that. But I think that it's more important to just be a human right off the bat. So thank you for asking me that question.
Yeah, no problem. And you know what's awesome? Again, it's that humility right there. You know what I mean? Like that's it's that light right there that separates you from a lot of other people. And when I say a lot, I mean in the all capital letters sense of the word, a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, just keep doing your thing, brother. Like, you know, good things is if they ain't hit you yet, they on their way for sure. They in the mail. I definitely believe that. Talking topically about the fact that you were in the military, I want to take a step back first and ask you, what is like, where'd you grow up? Growing up,
so I grew up partially in Newark, New Jersey, because I was born in Newark, New Jersey, but I'm a military brat, and my dad was in the Marine Corps, and one of the big Marine Corps bases is over in Oceanside, California, San Diego, called Camp Pendleton. So I ended up moving over to San Diego County and growing up there amongst that culture of skateboarding and rock music. So I really didn't get into hip hop until like later. So I grew up with rock music and extreme sports like skateboarding and rollerblading and BMX riding and stuff like that. Because like in that area, Tony Hawk is from the neighboring city, so everybody was skateboarding in that area. So I grew up on the West Coast mostly, just kind of like getting that vibe and getting into that grunge rock and skateboarding and just being really active and physical.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. And how was that like a difficult thing for you? I mean, because I know a lot of military brats, they get moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So considering the fact that, like you said, you were born in the East, then came out to the San Diego area. Did you like bounce around after that, or were you pretty much stable in SoCal?
I pretty much I for a couple of years back and forth, and my early childhood I did that for a little bit, but then it was mostly in the San Diego area, because you know that's where the base is and all of that type of stuff. So I didn't really, because during that time it wasn't like my dad was deploying to Iraq and Afghanistan, because I didn't exist at that point. Until a little bit later than Desert Storm and stuff like that. But like, yeah, it was mostly California.
Okay. Was it hard to adjust going back and forth? Like, you know, it's been in this time here and you know.
No, I mean, I think I like as a young child, I always was into art and like literally drawing because I'm also an artist, a cartoonist too. So I like variety, different colors and things like that. So like traveling to me wasn't like that big of a deal. It was more so who I had around me, whether, you know, it was my brothers, my sisters, my family, my mom and my dad. So like as long as I'm somewhere with my family, it really didn't matter to me.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, and you kind of touched on it, but I kind of want to dive deeper, because there's a lot of people who have curiosities about it. Again, shout out again to the Military Fresh Network, because one of the things that they do is they showcase that people in the military are human. You know, and I know, as funny as it sounds, most people think, oh, they're in the military, they can't do anything except, you know, march and shoot guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing about being in the military is that everybody's human. Everybody still does things regular, just like everybody else. It's just a different way of living. I guess that's the best way to put it. But for you, in your words, could you describe military life like through your lens, your experience?
Well, military life was a lot of discipline, a lot of structure for me. Marine Corps, especially the unit that I was in, it was more so like infantry and structure and and go, and not having like such an attachment on so many different like little things. And I learned that very quick, especially one example when I was on patrol, my first patrol, I was like, okay, I'm going on patrol. I need to pack everything that I need over in Iraq. I need to pack everything that I need. But I learned the hard way because the patrol was 14 hours. So 50 pounds on your back for 14 hours is a big deal. Like it feels more than that. And so like I learned at a very early age, a very early time, that you can't really have an attachment to things living that military life, because you may move to another base, you may move away from your friends, you may move away from your unit, you may move away from your family. So military life to me was learning how to be non-materialistic and to actually have stock in things that actually matter, like the relationships, like the camaraderie, like just treating people with respect, things like that. So for me, military life was about the intangibles and not the tangibles.
Excellent way of putting it. Speaking to the people that you know, the naysayers, or the people that do have that inference and that thought process that, you know, well, you know, when you join the military, you know, you can't do anything. Is there anything specific you want to say to them, or is it just like, hey, whatever, they'll figure it out on their own or whatever?
It just depends on what type of unit you have. It depends on who your boss is, because I know some people may be in a certain unit and they have certain preferences by their bosses, and then there's some people who are like, I don't care what you do, how famous you think you are, if you do music after this hour, whatever, you have to report to here at this time, or you have to report to this person at this time. And it just depends on who you're dealing with. But it just gets easier the more rank you have. So don't expect to go into the military and have all these liberties and have all these privileges, because it's just not going to happen, because you're going to be at the bottom of the totem pole, because you kind of like have to earn it, you know, especially in the Marine Corps, you have to earn it. And if you haven't earned it, don't even think of asking for it. But after a while, you can get these privileges and you can get these little liberties left and right and stuff like that. And that's what happened with me. Like after I started picking up rank, you know, and I was leaving my, you know, my duties at 16:30, 4:30 for you guys who were not military at 4:30, they would know I would go back. I would do music, work on my music, edit video and stuff like that. And it wasn't like a big deal, because they knew what I was doing. They knew I wasn't getting into trouble and stuff like that. So they kind of like promoted and encouraged me to kind of like do those type of things, as long as I wasn't like getting in trouble and stuff. Because that's the only thing they don't want. Your boss don't want you to get in trouble. And because if you get in trouble, they get in trouble by somebody else. And then if they get in trouble, you're going to get in trouble again. So it's just a thing of, you have to earn your keep and pay your dues when you get in the military. So like if you're seeing this and you're thinking about getting in the military and trying to do other things too, you can do those things. Just do what you're supposed to do first and get your priorities straight. And once you get your priorities straight, you'll be able to do whatever you want to do.
Right. Awesome. Back to you though. Outside of that, how did you? Because I mean, I get it. You know, it's always kind of been with you, because that, to me, that's the easy, reachable answer, right? That's the low hanging fruit of that question. But how did you get started in the music industry? Was there a specific instance that happened? Did you just happen across like you know, a celebrity or something? They was like, you got some dope stuff. Let's check that out. You know what I'm saying? And you know, please, how did you get started in the music industry?
There was like three instances. So like I told you, I grew up listening to rock music and skateboarding, right? So right before I went in the Marine Corps, my mom's friend came over and she's like, what are you listening to? And I'm like, oh, I'm listening to, I think it was like Nirvana or something. I was like listening to like Nirvana or some rock music. And she's like, what? You don't listen to rap music? She's like, hold up. She comes back and she brings me Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death. I'm glad that's the first hip hop CD I had. I was so glad.
Yeah.
She gave me Life After Death, the double CD. You know what I'm talking about, with the big CD case. Yeah, Biggie definitely is in my top 5. He's definitely up there amongst other people. But she gave me the Biggie CD. And when she gave me the Biggie CD, I was like, whoa, my mind is blown, because at the time I was 4'11", 90 pounds, skinny dude, still kind of like lanky now, but I have muscle on top of that. But like I was like a small dude, like Webster, if you remember, it's like old show Webster, little small dude, Urkel, any small black dude, you know, like I look like that. And so I didn't feel like I fit in because I was skateboarding and I was just like the skinny black dude or whatever that just dressed in skater gear and all that type of stuff and listened to rap music. So when she gave me the CD of Biggie, I was like, my mind was blown specifically because Biggie was an individual who said you can be an individual. He was saying that you don't have to be like everybody else. If you have confidence in yourself, you will win. You know, when he said black and ugly as ever, however, I stay with you down to the sides. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that. I was like, whoa. He said, basically he's saying, I'm fat, I'm black, I'm ugly, but I'll still pull your girl. Like, I was just like, whoa, imagine that as a kid, you know what I mean? So you're like, whoa, you can do whatever you want to do. So like, I was like, dope. And then I kind of like studied him and I was like, oh, he freestyles. That means coming straight off of the dome, like freestyling and stuff. So me and my friends, we would freestyle by the movie theaters. And for people who don't know what freestyling is coming straight off of your head, improvisational. You don't plan it, you don't write it down, you say whatever is happening. You know what I mean? So I was just intrigued by Biggie's raw ability to do that and the command presence, regardless of anybody in front of him. Like, you know what I mean? He, like everybody else, looked different. He was just this big, dark, fat dude on the corner, and you know, they could have made fun of him, but he just got on the corner and just spit and tore up that guy. I forget what footage it is, but it was crazy. Like when he had the mic and he was like just tearing that dude a new one and stuff like that. Yeah. Things like that, like that intrigued me. I was like, wow, I want to like get into rap. And I started freestyling, but then my mom was like, you need to get a job or you're going to get out. So I was like, okay, I need to get a job. So I ended up working at Taco Bell as a rapper, like wrapping up the tacos. Like, and then, yeah. And then I was, you want to be a rapper, right? Go wrap me some tacos. Right. So I ended up putting it to the side a little bit. And then I called myself trying to go to college or whatever for a little bit. Then 9/11 happened. I watched the Twin Towers getting hit while I was in class. And my instructor was a Marine too. And then we had another Marine that was sitting right next to me that was doing the GI Bill. So he just got out of the Marine Corps. And we're all watching it, you know, a future Marine, a Marine who just got out, and my teacher who was a retired Marine. And we were all in drafting class. Like we were drawing buildings, seeing the buildings get hit, which was like crazy. And I was like, wow, this is nuts, man. And I was just like, okay, like, I don't know what to do, but that was kind of like planted in my head. Then after that, I graduated drafting school. I tried to get a job. They said I was overqualified. I'm like, overqualified? What the heck's going on? No, then Marine Corps, yeah, it's so stupid. I'm gonna get into that later when we get deeper. You probably already know. They said I was overqualified because they called me in for an interview, right? But when I got in there, they were like, "You're overqualified," and I was just like. And if you listen to my music, I don't pull no punches. I say exactly what it is, but we'll talk about that later. I was like, okay. Then I don't know what I was gonna do, and then Marine Corps recruiter came up to me. He's like, "Yo, you want to join the Marine Corps?" And I was just like, let me think about it. And the only thing that I had to think about was, am I willing to die? And then after I got over that, then I was like, all right, I'll sign up. I signed up open contract. I told my mom I signed up open contract. My mom was like, you signed up open contract. Do you know what that means? My mom knew because my dad's a Marine, right? They were divorced at the time, but my mom knew what open contract was, but I didn't. She's like, you just graduated college. You need to go back and go get a smart job. So I go back, and at this time, I definitely wasn't good at hip hop or not like that or rap. And I freestyle a little bit, but I really wasn't that good, like at this level that I'm at now, or even know about the music industry. I didn't know about the business. I didn't know about making beats. None of it. I didn't know nothing. So I was like, went back to my recruiter and I was like, yeah, can I get a job in entertainment? She's like, entertainment? She's like, you think Marines have something in entertainment? And she's like, go away and come back tomorrow and then we'll talk about it. So I go back the next day and she's just like, yo, I got you public affairs. Now get the F out of my office. So public affairs, for those who don't know that, that's the closest to entertainment you could ever get. Public affairs is basically being a reporter. So if you've seen Full Metal Jacket, it's to do with the camera on the battlefield. So I was out there doing patrols with the camera, with my rifle and everything. So I actually had more gear than the grunts, which is I asked for this. Like, you know what I mean? So I got in the Marine Corps, and then once I got in the Marine Corps, it was kind of like I had to put everything on the back burner because deployments and things like that, you don't really get to like be a music producer. Like you can't really do that going to Iraq and stuff like in Afghanistan and stuff.
Then, for sure.
At least then, when I got back to the base in between deployments, MySpace came out. So my sergeant was like, "Yo, they have this new thing called MySpace, and you could like talk to people and like share your music online." And I know it sounds funny now that we talk about it. You can share your music online and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, that was the jam. You know, YouTube wasn't out, none of that. So they had MySpace, and you could share your beats, you could share your music, whatever. Right. And then my sergeant was like, "Yo, you need to get on this. I know you want to get in the music industry. Get on this right now." And then so like I was getting on it or whatever, and I was like putting my little tapes out there or whatever. But I still wasn't good because I didn't have a sound. And I also didn't go by the Marine Rapper, nor did I talk about military stuff because I honestly was scared to because I thought you couldn't do that. I thought you couldn't talk about operations and things. So I just didn't. So I was just talking about just random stuff from childhood about me, you know, being like a small, like nerdy, like 4'11" dude or whatever. And then I went on some more deployments or whatever like that. And then I went to my next station, which was recruiting after I came back from another deployment. And that's when YouTube had came out. So there was a big trend about Marines asking out people to the ball. So I ended up asking out Betty White to the ball. And nobody knew what this was called at the time, but I went viral on YouTube. So I asked out Betty White to the ball on YouTube, and it went viral. When that went viral, nobody knew what to do because there wasn't a military order on what to do. There wasn't like, you can't dress like this on social media. They didn't even have a name for social media, none of that. So I went viral. I was all over the news. Betty White like even responded to me. She's like, "Yeah, sorry, I can't go, whatever. I'm shooting a show and all that, but I love a man in uniform. Thank you for asking me out." I was like, "It's over." She said no. Out of the blue, Linda Hamilton, if you guys know who that is, Linda Hamilton is Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor made me a YouTube video asking me out, saying she feels bad that Betty had to say no, and she asked me out to the Marine Corps ball, and she said she would love to go with me. So I ended up taking Sarah Connor from Terminator to the Marine Corps ball. So you have to imagine I'm active duty taking out a celebrity to one of their official military ball functions. Yeah. So now I'm this quasi like famous like dude. But then I'm like, wait a minute, what if I mix this social media stuff? I didn't know what it was called. Social media stuff, the YouTube stuff, the music stuff. What would that do? I didn't know that would make me an influencer later on. I started just thinking about it and marinating on it. Right. And I took her to the ball and stuff like that. They're like, "Okay, superstar this, superstar that." And then I finished that duty station. My next duty station was in New Orleans, Louisiana, home of jazz and music, big time. Yes, NOLA. So I was out in NOLA, and then I started doing music way more, and I started getting better. But I noticed that I wanted to do music videos like everybody else was doing, but I had nobody to film it for me. So what I started doing was I would put a tripod up, and I started filming myself or getting somebody else film me, and then I would edit the videos. And I was just like, man, this is taking too long. And I was like, I need to get better at editing videos. So I started doing these tutorials and stuff like that. Started getting better and better and better and better on editing videos. And once I got better, it was about to time for me to get out of the Marine Corps. And I was like, oh man, what I need to do and what am I going to do? And that because that's what my boss was asking me. And I was just like, well, I guess I'm a rap. They're like, you're going to rap? That's hilarious. Like, you think you're going to make it in the rap industry, the music industry? How the heck are you going to do that? I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. And I think that like little them not believing in me, like kind of like sparked it. And I was like, oh, bet I'm going to do this. And then so I ended up going from New Orleans, Louisiana to Los Angeles. And I went to the Los Angeles Recording School. And there I learned audio production as well as music business. And then as I was going through school, people were like, yo, what's up with that jacket? Like, you know, what's up with that? You're a black man in an American flag jacket. What are you trying to say? They're like, how do you feel about this Kaepernick stuff? And at the same time, I linked up with another military veteran that came from the Air Force. His name's Brian Spencer. and he was sitting right next to me. And the teacher would go around and ask people what they do. And I was like, he's like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a rapper. And then Brian Spencer from the Air Force, he's like, well, I'm a metal guitarist and I was in a whole bunch of metal bands, but I don't have a band anymore. So what I've been doing was taking the metal riffs and then just putting it over trap beats. He's like, I just need a rapper. And I was like, he didn't know that I grew up listening to rock music though. I was like, what? And then so I was like, dude, let's make a song. And then so like he made a beat for me, which became Star Spangled Banger, which was like my breakout song or whatever, where I talk about Kaepernick and freedoms and life in America as a black man. And like, how do I feel about Kaepernick kneeling and people standing and all that type of stuff or whatever they want to do. And people went crazy because they're like, oh, wow, he's talking about all sides of it and all types of freedoms and how it is to be a black man. But he's also doing it rapping over a metal trap beat. Nobody was doing metal and trap together. No one. And then I got big off of that. Apple Music featured me and all that type of stuff. And I was like, yo, what I need to do is think proactively and think, hey, everybody's not going to like rap. So I started networking with a whole bunch of other military musicians. I was like, you a veteran? They're like, yeah. And I was like, so what music do you play? They're like, oh, I'm country. I was like, oh, bet. Okay, cool, man. Let's just be in contact. What do you play? Oh, I'm a singer-songwriter. I was like, oh, bet. What do you do? They're like, electronic. I was like, okay, cool. So I started like going around doing some like Dragon Ball Z stuff, like trying to like collect all these like Dragon Balls and stuff, right, which were those military musicians. And I didn't know what I was going to do just yet until like Instagram came on, and Instagram came along and I started putting these like little videos on Instagram for like 60 seconds of me just rapping about current events, whatever. And that's when I started to pop off. And then I started collaborate with other military musicians and then opening up my own record label with other military musicians and doing a whole bunch of music. And it's like the rest is history. And that's how I got in the music industry.
First of all, share black stories, man. You know what I mean? Like overall, this is people in general. Share black stories. This is a beautiful thing. And this is what I hope that I can keep consistent with the beat is that people will tell actual stories, not fugazi little tidbits and things that really kind of don't amount to nothing. This is really regular people who put in work and get returned back from said work. And that's a beautiful thing, man.
Thank you.
Second thing. No, wait, please.
I was going to say, if you look at the video Star Spangled Banger, you'll notice that there's in our group, there's all black veterans in there. I did that on purpose. Awesome. Because I felt like we're underrepresented. I feel like they always show us in like another light. And I feel like, we need to be, kind of like lifted up just how they did, the Tuskegee Airmen and Mumford Point Marines, Buffalo Soldiers. I mean, it goes on and on and on the list of unrecognized black veterans and black stories in general. So I always like to be that vessel to kind of like communicate those stories, because somebody might look at me and they could be like, oh, what's up with the American flag or this or that? And people, it was crazy. I went to, here's a little anecdote. I went to a mixer in San Diego and I ran into this African woman, and she's a younger, like mid-20s and stuff. And you could tell, like, man, beautiful, dark skin, beautiful black woman. And she had nice natural clothes on and everything, smelled good, looked good, everything very clean and stuff. She's like, she was wearing like clothes that it looked like she made or something, and not like made as in like poorly made, but you could tell the craftsmanship was high, like, and you could tell it wasn't just like, just a manufacturer type of clothing. And so she has nice on and she walks up to me dressing like how I am now, just a t-shirt and American flag jacket. She's like, hey, you're a black man. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, why are you wearing that American flag jacket? And she looked at me and I said, because we made it. And she was like, wow. She's like, I never thought of it like that. I said, yeah. I said, that's why. Because I'm not gonna forget all the blood, sweat, and tears that were poured on American soil for this flag. Literally, if you go back in history, the only people that have those sewing and weaving skills was who? At that particular time, if you think about it.
I get it.
But you really think we're going to get credit for that?
right? Like Betsy Ross made it.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, like really think, come on, like you know what I'm saying? Like come on, like even like who taught, you know what I mean? Who taught different people all those skills? It's a fact. We have the weaving skills, we have the sewing skills, the architectural skills, math skills.
Yeah.
From if you go back, but people who aren't educated be like, what? Because they don't tell that story in history books. That's why it's so important, like I said, share Black stories. And so people might look at me and they're like, oh wow, like, oh, he's this or that or a sellout or whatever. But if you talk to me, I know about my history because I studied it. But reason why I wear this flag jacket is because I'm so proud of all the sacrifices that my people, which are Americans because they earned it, made for this country, not for only Black people, but for all people. So I feel like that needs to be celebrated, and I celebrate in my own way, and that's why I do that.
And it's a beautiful thing because you're articulate enough to be able to say it so that people can understand it. And I think that's the part that gets lost in translation, right? Like literally lost in translation is that a lot of people feel a certain kind of way, but don't know how to effectively communicate how change could come about. And you're awesome at that. And again, going back to because we're gonna get to it, but Lisa Chaser has been tearing up the chat room, and she I gotta say, she asked this question, but give me a second, Lisa. I just gonna say 2-3 things, and then we're gonna get because we need to address what she said. Like I said, share Black stories, number 1. Number 2, I was today years old when I realized, or when I learned that you was the person that asked out Betty White. I remember this story vividly, okay? And I thought it was the most awesomest thing ever because I was like, Betty White, like, come on now. I'm a TV kid, yo, like movie kid, like, you know what I mean? Like Betty White, like, come on, bro. And she's
the top, yeah.
Yo, she's hilarious, yo. Hilarious, and underheralded, but
and you may know this, but when she was questioned about her affiliations or her mingling with Black people, she fought for civil rights as well. You know that?
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't know to what depth, but I definitely know she has been vocal about it. But
her and Mr. Rogers as well.
Oh well, yeah, we definitely know about Mr. Rogers for sure. His whole that
he was sharing the pool with the Black man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's the classic. I but that's why again, it's never always black and white. It's people versus people. At least in my respect. You know.
Yeah, I mean? and that's the point I'm making. By us sharing the Black stories, you see that there's more to the story. Because I feel like it's important to tell those stories because this is stuff that people don't know. And I feel like if people knew this and they knew different people from different demographics were fighting for the same cause, they'd be like, wow, we're not so different. We're just people.
Right. And that's really at the end of the day because people just want to be recognized for existing. You can't even just give us our dude that we should breathe the same air as you. Like, come on, bro. And once people get to that point, I think you'll actually get true change. But we haven't had that yet because people still feel some kind of funny way about a lot of different things. But that's neither here nor there. But like I said, that's an interesting thing. Again, share Black stories. I was today years old when I learned about you with the Betty White situation and the Linda Hamilton situation because I remember that too. I just didn't know it was you.
Yeah.
So I was today years old. Okay. Third thing, just really quickly, speaking on 9/11. 9/11, I'm not sure if you know my this is my brother from another mother, Nick Baker. He's also military fresh affiliated too. Mm-hmm. And we were roommates at the time when 9/11 happened. And literally I was asleep on the couch. And he, like I just happened to wake up like one of these, like a movie on, like,
yeah.
I look over and he's sitting. I can remember this like it was yesterday, sitting with a bowl of popcorn, watching. And he's like, man, you ain't seen this. This is amazing. This on TV. It's like this movie on TV is amazing.
Wow.
And I was like, wait, what? And then we was looking at it, and it was just like, what in the world is going on? And then that's what it was like. It was like, dude, this is the news. And he was like, yeah, but he was like, it's just so unreal that it's like a movie.
Yeah.
Well, it was hilarious because he's a jokester, so he's not an idiot, but he's a jokester.
Yeah.
But and whatever. That's a whole different thing. But that was my 9/11 thing. I watched it from the couch and was in NYC at Hampton University. I remember it like it was yesterday. And then finally, I gotta say, I forgot. So we're gonna move on to the next topic.
Okay, we can. If you remember, let me know.
Yeah. Linda Chase's question. Linda Chaser said that you changed her life. Okay. Listen, let's go back to this. Oh, sorry, I said Linda. Sorry. Lisa, I apologize. Lisa said you changed her life from suicide and self-harm. How do you do that? And do you realize that you even do that?
For me, it's crazy because you know how the military is, man. It's like you do one thing, or you do a mission, and then that's it. You keep doing another mission, another mission, another mission, and so like I could just speak for the Marine Corps. It just never was enough. You know what I mean? So like you do something good, they're like, okay, cool, you completed that, or you guys went on patrol, okay, another one. Like literally everything in the Marine Corps is straight up DJ Khaled. Another one, another one, another one. So it's like, okay, you did something cool last week, great. You still got to show up to formation again. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Right.
So I mean, it's beautiful and it's humbling, and it's kind of like, it's like, wow, it's like surreal to me a lot of times because I do what I do. And I don't try to just like, oh yeah, pat myself in the back, I'm the man. I just keep on moving and try to help more people because like what I do is I do a daily live every day at 10 a.m. PST on Instagram, and it's a suicide prevention live. And we don't necessarily say, hey, this is a suicide prevention live. I started out by saying, hey, we're live today because we're live every day. What's up? Who wants to talk with me? And I literally add anybody who wants to talk with me. Like I had some person from Thailand, some person from Uganda, some person from Nigeria, all over the world. If they want to talk with me about anything, sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's fun. We'll talk about food. We'll talk about sports. We'll talk about something serious. Like I've actually had somebody on there that talked about how they realized that they needed to be more vocal because they didn't want to waste their kid's life by not teaching them how to be vocal as well. Things like that. We'll talk about parenthood. We'll talk about race issues. We'll talk about politics. We'll talk about trending topics in the news. We'll do anything. And by doing that and having somebody that you can talk to every single day on live, face to face, that just creates a sort of community and a sort of camaraderie to where they feel like they're not alone, and in turn kind of like prevent suicide. So I just talk with people every single day. Simple as that. They don't have to wait for a hotline. They don't have to wait for the VA to get to them. None of that. They just straight up talk to me. I don't care who it is. We'll show up, just handedly. You know what I mean? If I don't have a fresh shave or a haircut, I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? You could have your hair messy. You could be wearing a hat. It's not a formal thing. I sit literally right here and I talk to whoever. Man, woman, child, dog, like literally we actually we'll bring on people's service animals and babies. And that's not even an exaggeration. And I'm just trying to show not only you're not alone, but also you're not that different than people are saying that you are, because especially now it's more important. And Lisa will tell you, it's more important to show that we are the same, because the media wants you to think that you're so different and that you're so apart from your neighbor, which is not true. I'm just like, the media is telling you, oh yeah, black and white people should be fighting all the time. And I'm like, what? Like black and white people are different. You know what I mean? Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Or Republicans and Democrats can't have a conversation. What? I was like, my friends or people who I talk to, or you run into somebody in the circle, you run into somebody at the supermarket and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not like yelling and screaming at somebody. I'm like, yo, what's up? Hey, what's up? How you doing? And that's it. And I go and grab what I need to grab, my jar of peanut butter or whatever it may be, and I go on my way. But the media and other people in social media wants you to think that we're all different. And the reason why that's important to kind of like dispel that rumor is because that is one of the things that can get somebody depressed and make them want to kill themselves. I've also started to do a thing. Instagram has allowed me to do badges, and what that is it allows people to donate money to me, to my bank. And when they donate that money to my bank, now I was like, okay, I could keep the money for me, but I'm like, I honestly probably don't need it as much as somebody else out there. What I do, sometimes I'll randomly just donate some money to a stranger online. And what that does, it helps them just a little bit. Maybe it takes a little stress off their back. Like, oh, wow, I can afford lunch. Like literally, I've cashed out like 5 people one day. And I said, here, go get some food, go get some McDonald's, whatever. Because I know that little bit can take a little stressor off of their mind, so they don't feel like they need to kill themselves and stuff like that. So it's not something formal like, oh, don't kill yourself, but it's something kind of like, hey, I'm here for you.
That's what's profound about it, because it's organic. It's not agenda driven. It's not something like a gimmick that you created to say, hey, I want to do this for this reason. And you just literally go out and it's purposeful. And people need to understand how remarkable that is, because that's why you get the federation that you get, the camaraderie that you get, because again, it's Legos, man. You know what I mean? Like it's Legos, and again, it's so awesome. It's so awesome to hear. It's so awesome to have people that actually can vouch for you. Not saying that you need that validity. I'm saying that the people truly believe that. People truly understand what it is that you are, and truly get you. You know what I mean? And that's an awesome thing. I have yet to meet a person or come across a person that has anything negative to say about the Marine rapper. So that in itself speaks highly of you. You know what I mean? And just again in awe. How are you on time? Because we're a little over. We're
good. I got time for you. I got time.
My man, appreciate it. Because I want to get to piece so people
can
actually see
the juicy part. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want them to understand that. They need to experience what everybody else's experiences by way of your art, your talent. But before we do that, I got to ask you, because again, you have a deep experience with the music industry, because you've done it and been around it in a lot of different sectors. You already touched on it, but do you have a list of notable names that you work with? Again,
first of all, okay, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, in music industry, a lot of times name dropping is taboo.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to put you in that like you arrogant and nothing like that, but I think the conversation that we had just about who you are as a person supersedes this. So I don't think people will look at you as being arrogant if you just go ahead and drop names out. You know what I mean?
I've worked with some cool people. I'll say, first of all, like basically every vet that I've worked with is notable, because I feel like they could have took another path. It's not hard to stay alive after the military or even have a career after the military. So the vets that get out and pursue music, I think that's amazing. I think that's wow. That it takes a lot of strength to be like, you know what? Even though I had a steady job, steady income, I'm going to leave this steady, stable occupation to become a musician. Wow. So first of all, them. Second of all, the reason why I made Star Spangled Banger is because I went to a festival called Art of Rap Festival by Ice-T. Okay. And I was lucky enough to get a press pass to go backstage. I went backstage. So Ice-T does this festival where he puts on a big thing with a whole bunch of like big artists like The Game, Biz Markie, RIP. He was there. Just a whole bunch of cool hip hop cats were there, right? Who was it? Yeah, Kool Moe Dee was there. Yeah, yeah, crazy. Yeah. It was just a whole bunch of people. Busy Bee, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of hip hop heads. So I was backstage, and Ice-T comes out, and I'm like, oh man, hopefully I get to talk to him. And he came around, and I got to talk to him. And if anybody knows anything about Ice-T, Ice-T's an Army veteran. If you guys didn't know that, he's an Army veteran. Yeah, he's an Army veteran, as well as he's one of the first West Coast battle rappers. But they didn't tell that story specifically because they wanted to give the crown to the East Coast. Obviously, BX. They want to give the crown to the East Coast. That's what he told me. So Ice-T. When I asked him, I said, hey, do you have any advice for young cats coming up? And he was like, yeah, rap about what you're about. Make music about what you're about and only do that. And then I was like, oh, snap. And then after that, I made Star Spangled Banger. And it was just talking about me as a black man in America, me growing up off of rock music, me talking about, I fought for freedoms regardless if you want to kneel like Kaepernick or stand, whatever. I don't care what you want to do. I got love for police if you want to answer the call of duty, but if you want to, be a bad cop, no love for you. Like if you listen to the Star Spangled Banger, you can hear all that. All those type of things I talk about in Star Spangled Banger because of Ice-T. So that was a notable person that I would say I worked with because he's the one who influenced me and inspired me to do the music I do today. And also, if you didn't know, Ice-T also has a metal band too. So it's called Body Count, and they just won a Grammy last year. So it's kind of like, I feel like kind of like mini me, like I do metal and rap too. And then another person that I work with that's notable recently is Shaggy. I had Shaggy on my album, and he introduced the cipher that we had with all military veterans of all genres, all backgrounds, liberal, conservative, straight, gay, black, white, Mexican, rap fast, rap slow, rock, singer, whatever. I had them on this whole song called World War Cipher, and then Shaggy introduced the whole thing for us, which was awesome. And the guy who mixed that song is the engineer for Childish Gambino, and that guy got a Grammy for This Is America. So there's a total of 3 Grammys on that song. So and now like Billboard artists as well. So Billboard artists plus, because I just have my Billboard and then the Grammys as well. So that was dope. I worked with those 3 people too. And then also little smaller thing, but MC Hammer, who's a Navy veteran, followed me. So which is cool.
Nice.
So I basically have the Mount Rushmore of it. I wish, Nate Dogg was still here, but that'd be dope. But you know what I mean? But the Mount Rushmore of veteran musicians is the notable people who I worked with. And I've wanted to work with them because it's just inspirational. It's like, yo, you come from where I come from, and now we're able to connect over music and bond over a unique goal. And I just really appreciate it. But like my top one has to be like Ice-T, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't make the music that I make, because Ice-T is just a real one. He's a triple OG. Everybody knows that. So
yeah. That's awesome, man. Again, your story is definitely something to behold. I'm honored to have you on again. I got to say it in real time. Let's get to the current projects. What are you currently working on?
Okay. Okay. So I've been dropping a song every Friday because I feel like, especially right now, troops need something to console them, because a lot of them feel like everything they did in Afghanistan was for no reason since the exit. So ever since that exit, I've been dropping songs. So I dropped a song called Enemy Lines with Kill Will, who is double-time Grammy Award recipient. And the Enemy Lines song is basically consoling like people who have lost their loved ones. So I kind of like put a dedication in front of that video to the 13 troops that were just lost in Afghanistan. I did a song called Troop Lives Matter, which is kind of like a nod to like 70s and funk. So if you like listen to that, you'll hear like a 70s type of vibe from that. Also, the artwork is influenced by Full Metal Jacket, which is about Vietnam. And the reason why I drew that parallel was specifically because Vietnam vets feel like Afghanistan vets, because we both feel like we're kind of like cheated in a certain way. It's like, what was it all for? Because if you look at it, imagery is the same from Saigon to Kabul, like with the helicopter, like evacuation from the embassy and stuff like that. So me and Vietnam vets kind of like feel the same type of way. And I got to give a shout out to Axiom, who I think's in here too. That person is the artist. Axiom is the artist of all of my like current album artwork as well. So any album art that you have seen, Axiom has been doing that. And also I'm dropping something else this Friday. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's a surprise. But you just have to pay attention to my Instagram and then you'll see what I'm going to drop. But I don't want to say what it is because it's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be some dope stuff. But I just want to keep on dropping music because I feel like it's cathartic and it's therapy to all the veterans and civilians too, because Lisa's a civilian. Like if you're having a hard time, like mentally, physically, you can throw on one of my tracks and I'm talking directly to you because I just appreciate all the support I'm getting, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do music full time because they keep on buying my music week after week and I'm able to just do music. So I really appreciate that. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, they in here and ask them. Yeah, the work that you do is dope, by the way. So I got to give you your flowers too, man. The covers, if you're doing these covers, then you're doing the right thing for sure. You know, and they tearing it up in the chat room for sure. I love the support back and forth with the people that's following. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's a nest of family. That's where you get the gist of that. You know.
Yeah.
You spoke on it though, and guess what? We happen to have them in Enemy Lines here.
Oh, yes.
So this is an opportunity for us to talk about how this came together. How did Enemy Lines come together?
Yeah. So Enemy Lines came together after we did the song called The Patriot. So The Patriot is my number one charting Billboard single. So like out of every rap song on the week of February 6th, it got number one. And it charted like 15 times in different charts and stuff. So we did The Patriot, and The Patriot's like a patriotic song, and I did it with my brother. He's from Mississippi. His name's Topher. Shout out to Topher. And we did this patriotic song, and the chorus is old Scottish song. So they were like, wow, these two black dudes are mixing hip hop with a Scottish song, and the producer is a Puerto Rican dude from New York. So it was like, wow, this whole unity thing is happening. And the reason why I bring up race in this situation is specifically because at the time, especially during the election and stuff, everybody was trying to say we're divided and Black Lives Matter is here and Trump is here and you have to choose a side. And if you don't, you're a racist. And if you're not a racist, you're an extremist and a whole bunch of stuff. So at that particular time, we had everybody joining forces together to say, hey, we're not different and we can make music together. So that's why I bring up all that. So we're just fresh off of The Patriot. Patriot's doing well, charting. We're doing big numbers. Then on TikTok, the producer who I'm talking about, his name is Killer Vic from New York. And he found this guy named Will Champlin. And he sang this song called Enemy Lines, but he just sang the hook on TikTok, just that hook. And then so what happened was Killer Vic took Kill Will's part and put that song on his beat, but it had no verses. And Killer Vic sent that to me. And he sent that to me and I was like, this is mine. I wrote to it in 15 minutes. I mean, like I ended up changing a couple bars here and there a little bit later, like, you know, during the mixing process and things like that. But like the first draft I wrote in 15 minutes because I wanted him to know that I'm serious and it's done. And I really wanted to be on the track with Kill Will because he's dope. So I was like, I sent it back to I sent that track back to Killer Vic, and he's like, whoa, you done already? I'm like, yes, I really need to be on this track. It speaks to me. It's for me. It sounds like the Marine rapper is talking about enemy lines and how I'm feeling coming back, you know, after that whole election nonsense and all that type of stuff. And I feel like I'm back in the United States, but I'm behind enemy lines because I'm still trying to convince people that I'm just like them. So basically that's what the song is. It's about the song, a song of being in your own hometown, your own country, but still feel like you're behind enemy lines. So we dropped it July 2nd on my album Culture War, right? Just the audio. Then I was like, people are sleeping on this song, man. What's going on? But then I realized, I didn't have a video with it. And then right when I was about to do a video, the 13 troops in Afghanistan died. And I was like, wow, I got to dedicate the song to the 13 troops in Afghanistan now. It just has to be, because that was their enemy lines. And it's not about me no more. It's about them now. So the song came about a month earlier in July 2nd, but then it didn't really get any buzz until all the stuff in Afghanistan and the exit. And I felt like it needed an extra boost, and what better boost to give it was to dedicate it to these fallen troops. So here's Enemy Lines.
I can't even introduce it now. I mean, no, but it's awesome. No, this is dope. TMR, Kilo, Enemy Lines. Here we go. Check this out.
They say you gotta think and talk their way. Well, the walls come down, leaving no safe place. And those with hardened hearts wish death on us, but we ain't going down that way. We don't let the flags wear away.
Let it sail, let it sail. Got some hate, said the flag will wave. Like September 12th, I got more love than I ever thought. Got me overwhelmed, I prevail. So much sacrifice just to get me here. Yeah, I was alone and I had no help. Feeling empty, I was just a shell. Took away my love and took the wealth. Only got knowing the pain I felt. I get stressed, lucky guess, battle test, cheated death. Loyal to the ones who left. Whenever I'm caught in the thick of, whenever I'm wanting to give up. Remember, I'm only here living because of the fallen and freedom they give us. For that I will never forget them. And mama ain't raising no quitter. I'm telling my brothers and sisters, we never surrender, we winners, let's get it. Let's go! Never fail, never fail. Lost some friends, but they remain. Don't need no one else, I got more wins than I ever thought. Now that ship has sailed, never bail. Kept my circle tight through the storm and hail. Yeah, no matter how many the stones they felt, I shoulder the boulder, it's on my delts. Carried the weight of the ones myself. Only got knowing the pain I felt. Yeah, I can't stress, cause I'm blessed. Got the grace of Most High, so he's quoted when I write. Whenever I'm caught in the thick of, whenever I'm wanting to give up. Remember, I'm only here living because of the fallen and freedom they give us. For that I will never forget them. And mama ain't raising no quitter. I'm telling my brothers and sisters, we never surrender, we winners, let's get it. Let's go!
Yo, so I'm not even gonna say that. This is one of my least considered the best. That's deep. It's just it paints so many pictures. The lyrics are crazy. The hook is crazy. The beat is definitely well done, and make no mention. I'm Donnie B got the beats over here. I'm pretty damn good at beats myself. Okay,
I was gonna say that we need to.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's a damn good beat too. It's very well done. Who shot the video?
I shot it, and then well, I shot the studio stuff, but then I had a friend help me with the like motion stuff. So like I directed it. So
directed it. And
yeah, so I said, yeah, hold it here.
We got a lot of comments. Very well done. Very, 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 very well done. Like I had to give you about 4 varies, like Commandant Lassard. Like I had to very, very, very well done. It just puts you in a good place. And I don't mean in a good place. Obviously, the tone of it is very, it speaks, but you know what I mean. It puts you in a place. Perspective.
Hopeful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in awe, man. You are an artist, man, and I don't mean that and to say that flippantly. You are an artist, like that's that Donda Kanye versus. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to that part, but
we'll talk about it.
But yeah,
because I just feel like. Because like I said, I kind of like just like imported like what I knew from being a visual artist when I was a kid and stuff. And if you looked in that video, there's portions and parts where it showed those Afghan veterans who passed away, as well as the grave that I was going to was Danny Dietz. That was one of the guys who got killed during that lone survivor thing with Marcus Luttrell. Yeah, so I ended up being in Colorado, and Colorado is where Danny Dietz's grave is. So I went to go pay him respects because I'm a survivor, but also Marcus Luttrell's family. Like I ended up having a connection with them when I made a rap for their family. So his mom and the brothers. The twin brothers, they both know about me and stuff like that. So I was just like, let me just pay homage to Danny Dietz.
That's awesome. That story in itself is crazy. It's crazy, but
there's Easter eggs. I do a lot of Easter eggs in the video, so you can keep watching it, and there's like little things in there. So
next thing you know, you're gonna be a movie producer, like, can't get up on the line now because so people back home ain't gonna believe that I know you. So I gotta get my signatures from you ASAP.
Now we go way back. I'm not gonna be like that.
But again, truly honored, man. You got a gift. You have a number of gifts, actually. You know what I mean? As far as to be able to do all of the things that you do well. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who do a lot of things, but a lot of them don't always do things well. You do things masterfully, man. So definitely give you props here. But moving on, because I know time is a thing. My favorite part of the beat, as people that follow the beat know, is Hot Topics. And I always said, you know what? I like this so much. It need to have its own intro little segment where it got this own little thing to it. And I did that. So check this out. Hot Topics. Check this out. So Hot Topics. I love it. Hot Topics go like this. Hot Topics are a series of questions that are random-based questions designed for the viewers to get to know who you are through these random questions that I ask you. I ask you these questions. You answer them to the best of your ability. And I don't really believe in a clock, but we want to try to make sure you shoot them out. You know what I mean? We don't want you to be, let me think. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. First question. 3 things you didn't know. This is a classic Hot Topic question. 3 things you didn't know. What's 3 things that the world does not know about TMR, or 3 things that you'd like to clarify to the world that people constantly get wrong that you like, bruh? Let's get the facts straight. Go.
Okay. Wow. People don't know that I skateboard. I kind of like mentioned that earlier. Mm-hmm. People don't know that I wanted to be, before anything else, an animator for Disney.
Matt, my God, we got to talk about it.
Yeah, I want to be animated for Disney. And people don't know I edit my own videos, my own music videos. Most people don't know that. Yeah, so.
You blew through that one. All right, next one. This is relatively new. You're the second person I've asked this one. What'd they say? Now, what they say is basically talking about, like you said, you're from Newark. You were born in Newark.
Yeah.
You split time from Newark and San Diego.
In Cali.
Let's try to do something for both. What they say in both of those places? Something like, back home and,
they go, they do that. Where you said what?
I'm from DC. But my family's from Philly, Jersey, New York. They're from the tri-states.
So you heard that before.
Yeah, I used to spend summers. I learned how to fight Philly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I mean? So the real live is what they say. You share a couple things.
It will be that's the first one we talked about, that one. And then in Cali, it's a lot of like skater, like surfer language. It's like dude. So that's why you hear me say like dude a lot, like dude. They'll say dude a lot. And then another thing in the East Coast, and you know how this is, like they'll stretch out it depends on where, Baltimore, it depends on where you're at, but they'll stretch out the vowels. So like they'll say John and like, in like Baltimore and stuff, but like people make fun of me sometimes when they hear me say on. So like, cause it's stretch out the vowel and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't know that like you can hear if somebody's from the East Coast, how they stretch out their vowels. So sometimes I stretch out my vowels like that.
Absolutely. So the thing about Baltimore is funny. It'd be more funny because their whole little thing is like Doug.
Their accent is funny.
Doug, like that. I mean, that means dog. And regular people turn, but they be like, "I'm a Doug." Like, what is that?
It's the U. It's the U. It's the U. You.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, but no shade, because I did dabble in be more too. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny. It's funny. Okay, cool. My playlist popping. This is what is in your audio playlist right now, and I got you at a perfect time, brother, because you a hip hop artist, and
I think you're gonna be surprised.
We got Donda, we got the Certified Lover Boy, we got the Nas album, we got the J. Cole that just dropped. We got the APB out on Kendrick. Like, nigga, where you at? Like, talk about it. What's in your audio playlist?
Let me. I'm like look at it. I'm looking at it right now, but you're gonna be surprised, like what I've been listening to. Like you'll be surprised. Like, okay, Billie Eilish.
Okay.
Happier Than Ever. Have you heard that song?
Oh yeah.
It starts out like an old timey like 50s song, and it turns into like a 90s alternative song.
Yep.
I like listening to like a lot of music that outside of my genre, so you can expand your like musical ear.
Gotcha.
I like to listen to. There's a song called "Too Fast" by Sonder. It's like a R&B soul type of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I love Murray.
Okay.
You know who Murray is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quicksand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
It's an eclectic. Yeah.
You do, as I like to say, you flex the muscle.
Yeah.
You know
that's why like you'll hear like that's why you'll hear different flows in there, because I always think of like I don't want my flow to get old. Like so like I'll just like I'll do my own, it'll be me, but like I like to do like my own flow, but it's influenced by the new styles or whatever, you know what I mean? But then you'll hear it go into like towards the end of Enemy Line, you'll hear it go into like a rock cadence, you know what I mean? Like because that's like my vibe or whatever. But like cool. I just like different cadences and things like that, and just like to experiment. And I'm just a fan of lots of different types of music. And I don't feel like we should just like limit ourselves to different types of music, especially like with a lot of the military life. You didn't get to choose what was on the radio. A lot of times it was like, we're going to listen to this. And so I would listen to Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. You know what I mean? Like, burn, that Ring of Fire.
Country music is very, very prevalent, and most people don't even understand, especially Johnny Cash or Charlie Pride. Like, take you a long way. Take you a long way.
It will.
But that's dope.
Even blues too. I got to say blues too. I actually got a chance to meet Coco Taylor before she passed. Coco Taylor was basically the queen of blues, if you guys know anything about that. But like, I was on deployment and my pen pal was into blues, and she says, "Hey, when you come back," in my brain, I was like, "If I come back," she was like, "When you come back," yeah, I didn't know. She's like, "When you come back, I'm gonna take you to a blues concert." And then so like I came back, I was like, "Wow, I made it." And she's like, "Remember what I said?" And I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, you need to come out to this concert." And I came out to the concert. We got backstage passes, and I got to meet Coco Taylor, and everybody was jealous that I got to meet her. And she like blessed me, and she's like, "You're gonna be big." And I was like, "What?" It was like a crazy thing. So I feel like those situations make it so I can't fail. It's not for me. It's a bigger thing than other people.
That's awesome. You know, it's funny that you say that. As far as by way of blessings, I met a celebrity that kind of did that too. And she
Who
was
is
the
that?
most humblest, coolest, down to earth woman I've ever met my entire life. Ruby D.
D.
Yeah. And you know how she does. "Oh, how you doing? You're so amazing." Oh, and she was like,
Wow.
I can't talk about how composed you are as a young man. Hey, you're gonna do so well, you know. And it was just like, wow, you know, and just to hear that.
How did it feel? How did it feel?
And you're going, okay, I'm being interviewed now.
I put the script on you.
Put me in the seat. No, you know what? It was humbling because people don't know. This is one of my 3 things you didn't know is that I battled for years with esteem issues. Yeah. And so it was really hard for me because I just always just at the end of the day just want to be recognized as somebody that, like I said, I just want to breathe the same, like I breathe the same air as everybody else.
Exactly.
And I live a life of service. So I just want to be recognized, right?
Yeah.
So to hear I can't even say it, just a screen actress. Like she's a, you know, like a staple of Hollywood. You know what I mean? Especially Black Hollywood. You know, that's like meeting Diana Carroll or something. You know what I mean? Even Ozzy, and Ozzy was there too. We got to meet Ozzy and everything. He was nice.
Wow.
But you know, to hear her say that, and then she was like fresh off of the joint with Denzel, American
Gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just to hear her say that, and it was just like, you know, wow, you know, I know who you are. Like, and she was like, I mean, it's just you got great energy, and it was just, you know, it was just really humbling. It really was, and you know, like I said, it just really helped to reaffirm and give myself the confidence that I needed to continue being a jerk that I can be on a day-to-day basis. So,
no, you're cool, man. No, I just feel like when when we start getting to certain modes and certain levels and stuff like that, I feel like our compass is different. Like we have to start gauging things by like energy. You can feel it. You can be like, are they real or not by the energy? You know what I mean? Right. So like I know when I'm around somebody, like whether I know them or not, whether it's 1 fan or 1 million fans, I've been around people with a lot more fans and I didn't like their energy, and I don't care. I'm not trying to get nothing from them, but like even though you have the notoriety and everything, the way you came at me as far as like, yo, hey, I want to interview you, it was just cool. And you're professional. You had the graphic already done. You had the link already set a week ago. Like it wasn't like a quick thing. You weren't trying to throw nothing at me. It wasn't unprepared. You were prepared, professional. Everything was organized, and I just want to say that I really appreciate that because that puts me in a great mood and makes me comfortable. And I'm just like, wow, I love his energy, so I want to reciprocate that same energy back. So if you guys are listening now, some of the tips to figure out whether you should be hanging around the crowd or the circle that you're around is the energy right? You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if they have money or followers or whatever, but is the energy right? And if the energy is right, you should stick with that circle.
Appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate you and your energy and everything that you've done up to date. Again, just I can't give you enough flowers. You know what I mean? But I thank you for the kind words for sure. It does me solid. I can sleep well tonight. Let's do the last hot topic because again, I know we bubbling a bit over. I'm sorry, Netflix. What? That's what it is. Netflix.
Okay.
We did audio. Let's do the video. What's your visual playlist?
My visual playlist is all scary movies. I love like scary movies or thrillers. But I just got to say this while we're talking about scary movies. If you have not seen the new Candyman, you need to see it. The one with Jordan Peele.
Yeah,
the one that Jordan Peele made.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not gonna mess it up for you. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But that's one of the best movies I've seen. You know how they redo a movie and they're like, "Oh, you should have left that one alone." No, this one,
okay,
is it. And if you were to look at the reviews, you see the same thing. Like I was like, okay, the reviews are high, but let me see. You know what I mean? And I went and I was just like, wow, it was amazing. Candyman was one of the best movies I've seen. I'd re-see it again. And I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but just go see it. But yeah, it's a scary movie playlist for me.
Okay, and I understand that. I'm a horror movie guy at heart myself. What's your favorite horror movie?
Oof.
All time.
Of all time?
All time.
Oh man. Wow. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go through them right now. It's weird because some of them kind of like overlap the psychological thriller, and I like them too. Like Split.
Yeah,
Split by M. Night. I love if there's psychological. Like I like going back to it and be like, oh, I didn't notice this, I didn't notice that. I like being able to watch a movie a couple times. So for me, like it would probably be something like either Get Out, Split, or Candyman is my new favorite. So like something like that. Or if I have to pick like a series, it would be like Saw. Even though the acting isn't good, but it's just so like you're wondering, what would you do? Like what would you do? Like if you're what would you do if you're in a desperate situation? Like, are you going to do what he wants you to do, or are you just going to give up and die? You know, so it's kind of like, and that's kind of like a life lesson at the same time. Like, are you willing to do what it takes to get on the other side, or are you just going to give up? So I would say it would probably be Saw if we're going to pick one.
Okay. Yeah, not to throw my age out there, but I mine. It's really no competition. Is
what is it?
Night of the Living Dead.
Oh,
the George Romero black and white one. I wasn't alive when it first came out, by the way. So let's just clear that out. But it's still.
Yeah, I'm like, you're not that. Yeah.
But my second favorite, Event Horizon. I love
Event Horizon.
I love Event Horizon. That is besides The Exorcist and Gremlins, believe it or not.
Oh, because Gremlins is a horror movie?
Well, it's just something unnerving about these damn things. You throw water on them and then they multiply. Like, and
they call it a horror movie, but I don't know.
But hey, listen, you throw some water or something like that, something about multiplying in front of me. And shit just start shooting out. But nah, bro. You turn the light on and no, bro. Like, no. He put the old lady in the chair and then shot her out the window, bro. Like, that was just, as a kid, I was like, nah, I ain't messing with the Gremlins, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's
if I would have to say that time period, it would be Nightmare on Elm Street.
You know what's funny about that? It is the first one was really good.
Very good.
The second one was decent. And then everything after that, they tried to me, it felt like they was going in a comedy lane. Like, you know, Freddy Krueger started having a sarcasm. He had to start having a quick wit. And it was just like, okay, like, you know. But no, these are all good, and these are staples of childhood. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand where you come from with that. So it's not to shade it at all. But that was the thing. The first one to me was like the classic. Johnny Depp was in it and everything. But it's just after that, it started to get kind of like, all right. Especially when they started to get to like Nightmare on Elm Street 15 or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm good. It's like
it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick one though, like because now I'm thinking about man, there's so many. It's not like a favorite movie, but I have a favorite like production house. So it's a Bloomhouse. They make all the like they make Get Out and all that. Invisible Man was good. The new Invisible Man is because Invisible Man is a horror.
Yeah. They made it like a Me Too thing, didn't it? It was
weird.
Oh.
It was kind of more, but I mean, for right now, I just say the only thing that's on my mind is the new Candyman. That was for sure. And I don't want to ruin it for you guys out there by saying what it is, but you'd be surprised about like how it is because it's artistic the way it's done because it's by Jordan Peele. So you know he's kind of funny too. So it's kind of like
he finds humor in it through art, and it's awesome. You know, but like you said, it's visual. I definitely respect it. Yeah, good. All right, let's get because we got some serious topics coming through, and we are way above time. And I just want to be
that's cool. Sure we good.
All of these through. Switching topics. First of all, you made it through hot topics. Thank you, because a lot of people don't even get that far. I'm lying. Everybody makes it through, but it's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Switching gears back to more of a serious tone. Talk about socials. You know, current social events and current affairs. Right. What are your thoughts about the U.S. departure from Afghanistan? Your true thoughts about it.
My true thoughts, I actually covered that. And one of the new songs I did is called Holy War II, and Fox News actually covered it. Like I was actually on Fox News because I did this song. But it, I feel like, there comes a time for us to leave. I do agree with that, but I also agree with us leaving in a way that doesn't get our Americans killed or other Afghans and other civilians killed, because it's just not fair, because we went over there and we kind of displaced their life, you know, by doing our operations and things like that, coordinating with the local Afghans, the Afghan army, as well as kind of like, you know, maneuvering and associating with the different Afghan civilians, whether it was within the embassy and stuff like that, or the politicians. And we just had our feelers and everything. And I just feel like it could have been done better. You know, we shut down Bagram, which was, I don't understand that. I don't know why that happened. I thought you should keep that one open. You know what I mean? Make sure the main one's open and then make sure everybody's good and then leave. But I just felt like it was a sloppy pullout. You know, I just don't feel like it was done in a way that was safe for us. And now we kind of like abandon some of our people that are still over there, because there are some Americans that are still over there. People don't know that. There's still Americans over there, still some Afghans that worked with us that deserve a chance to like live in America. Because if you're going to go out, you know, 7 months at a time with a new battalion, a new unit, and serve with them with minimal gear, and then have to get used to another unit and risking your life all the time, whether it's with the Taliban or some other dangerous entity, I feel like you deserve citizenship. Like you deserve citizenship. If you're willing to risk your life for another American that you don't know, like literally these Afghan interpreters, they're the dopest ones that I know. Like for real. Like for real. Like they're like, hey, I got you, whatever. And the only reason that we're able to maneuver was specifically because of those Afghans. You know what I mean? No matter how much language we knew, we still didn't know the like little slang and the idioms and stuff like that, and all the little nuances that they knew over there, and they knew what to look for. They have like certain cultural things, you know. Been here, we'll go into one hood. You know, you go to Baltimore, it's way different than Compton.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So you could do something and be like, whoa, no, you can't do that here. Whoa, same thing over there. But it's even harder because there's so many different languages and so many different slangs and so many different variations. And if it wasn't for those people looking out for us, I wouldn't be here. So right. I feel like those individuals should be either have some type of refuge or some asylum in a neighboring company. I mean, not a neighboring company, a neighboring country, or in America if they deserve it. So I just feel like they put in a lot of work for us, and I feel like we shouldn't abandon them. So I just feel it was sloppy.
Right. All right. That's understandable. Thank you for sharing that. The next question I have is Black in America. What does that mean to you today?
Black in America is whatever I say it is. You know what I mean? Because Black folks are trendsetters. You know what I mean? Black folks are trendsetters, and whether it's stylistically, sonically, because we influence music big time. The biggest genre of music is hip hop right now. Fashion sense, everybody's wearing sneakers. Everybody is wearing all this, different urban type of clothing now. So Black in America means whatever anybody says it is. Honestly, I don't feel like it could be a negative or a positive thing. It just depends on how you want to take it. Somebody might, outside of the Black culture, might say it might be negative, or they may have a stereotype and say it's negative, but it just depends on how you look at it. I mean, everything is how you make it. You know what I mean? So like my daughter said this, just to give you an example. My daughter, and she's a straight A student. My grandma asked my daughter, said, "What's 1 and 1?" My daughter said 2 or 11. So I was like, at age 8. So you're telling me this little girl is using her left and right brain at the same time?
Right.
So, what I mean? That's some hidden figure stuff. You know what I mean? People didn't know, Black women was most of the reason why a lot of people went into space was because of Black women. Things like that. Like Black in America means innovation. It means creation. It means music. It means fashion. It means media. It means bravery. It means standing up for what you believe in. It means anything you want to have it mean. So that's my description.
Okay. Listen, I really truly enjoyed the time speaking with you, man. Like, definitely, you are. I don't want to say different negatively, because when you say different, it's always but you are different. Like when you hear people have normal such and such so and so conversation, you're definitely not so and so such and such conversation, brother. You have a lot with you, and it's definitely much appreciated. The talent is where it is that you need to be spoke of more. You definitely should be in conversations, and I mean, the conversations I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
I do.
So that's that. And listen, I like I said, I just really appreciate the time. I actually, you still good on time? I got 2 more questions, but it's something I think that I kind of wanted to see.
Yes, sir.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a surprise. One surprise segment. We'll throw this out there for you. I want to see just how adept you are, brother. And trust me, I'm not going to put you on spot. Just want to see. I want to try something new. And hold on, let's see. Lisa is on fire in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, that too.
I do.
Shout out Lisa. That. Lisa's out there. She working.
I know it. Yeah, I know it.
All right, check this out. So I have this thing that I want to start. It's called Game On. It's a couple questions, and I want to run it by you to see just how well you do. Okay?
Let's get it.
All right. Let's remove the banner, first of all. So, in this, it's going to be questions. And in the questions, you tell me exactly what you think the answer is going to be. Fair?
Fair.
All right. Start. You got a certain amount of time to answer this. Which number from 1 to 999 includes the letter A in its word form? A, 88, B, 148, C, none of them, D, 678.
Uh,
148?
No, C, none of them.
C. There you go. Correct.
That was cool. This is fun.
Thank you. Hold on. Get to the next button. You got it on the Working out the kinks. Here we go. Question 2. 500 points. What's this say? What do you call a group of hippos? A bunch. B, a bloat. C, a gang. Or D, none of the above.
Wow. I'm like, I'm just gonna pick B because I like the guy in there.
You're on fire. 2 for 2. A bloat is correct. All right. Next question. Question 3. Who was the first NBA player to shatter a backboard? A, Shaquille O'Neal. B, Vince Carter. C, Sean Kemp. D, Chuck Connors.
A.
A?
Yeah.
That's your answer. Okay.
That is.
Watch what happened. D, Chuck Connors.
I just remember Shaq doing it.
Yeah, he did it in college before he even got to the NBA. Trying to get to the daggone thing. I can't even get to it. I can't even get to it. Anyway, that was game.
That was fun.
Thanks.
It was fun. I love it.
You were literally the first person I tried this out with, and I'm glad that you felt some kind of funny way with it. I think I'm gonna keep it.
You should.
But you missed only one. So with that being said, thanks again for joining me on the beat. 2 more questions and we have you out. She said Shaq. Duh.
See, everybody thought it was Shaq because it was just. I guess it was just such a moment with Shaq. Yeah. So people might mess it up.
Indeed. Any advice for aspiring talent, young entrepreneurs, young visionaries such as yourself, young creatives? What advice do you have? My advice for aspiring talent would be just be yourself and make music that you want to make. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. You know what I mean? But you also have to like work hard at it. You know, you can't just like wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm just gonna rap, or I'm gonna produce beats or something like that, or I'm gonna sing. You have to work hard at it. You have to learn your craft. You have to study up on the history of it. Like me, I'm a music nerd. I like looking back all the way to rock and roll, blues, jazz, all that type of stuff, and seeing like where rap first started, because I'm a rapper. So like segments like Music Man, the Jewelers, Cab Calloway, like when they were rapping, I was like, oh snap, you know what I mean? Like, so I was, oh wow, what were they doing and how were they like maneuvering through the composition and stuff like that, and like how can I incorporate that? And then later, obviously, the funk and the James Brown and all the other things, little newer stuff that we come across. But learn your craft, learn the history, because what'll happen is you'll be able to incorporate those little nuances and those little Easter eggs and those little treats within your music, whatever genre it is. So right. That's the advice that I give to somebody is just learn your craft, just learn your craft, and then practice it. Yeah, that's words to live by for sure. They ain't going off, boy. At least in NBA jams. That was good. Yeah, hey man. And you had that. You had Sega Genesis. Of course. Yeah. Hey, that was the joint. But like I said, the incomparable Marv Albert was the voice. Him and Ernie Johnson were the voices on NBA Jam. I loved it. It was amazing. Such a big moment. Anyway, how can people learn more about you? Yo, what's up? My name's the Marine Rapper. You can learn more about me by going to my social media. All of my social media handles, as seen on the beat screen, is at the Marine Rapper. I've learned to keep it simple. At the Marine Rapper everywhere. And that's it. That's how you learn more about me. My website's the same. Everything's the same. I like to keep everything the same across the board. But
you can learn more about me by watching this back. Watch the rerun. Watch other interviews and stuff like that. But like, I just really appreciate you for having me today. I really appreciate you for asking me all types of questions, because I like to show that diversity, and I just love spending time with you, as well as playing that cool little game. That was fun too. So thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Like I said, trying something new. You know what I mean? I learned it from a guy, Jimmy. Always got to be fresh, never stale.
Yep,
so
always fresh.
So again, shout out Military Fresh. But anyway, TMR, do you have any shout outs, any last words that before we get up on out of here? Yeah,
shout out to Donnie B. And then my last words that I want to say up on this thing is, we need to do a little collaboration, something. I need a beat. You know what I mean? We got to do some type of collaboration. That'd be dope. I want to be challenged though. I don't want something that, I don't want just like a regular, like, you know what I mean? Something that's just like everybody rapping on, everybody making music on. I want to do something different. So we'll get to it.
Different is my middle name.
Cool.
I got you. No, definitely. I'm working on some stuff for Nick Baker. I'm actually getting in the lab myself. It's time for me to come and dust some clothing off. But yeah, that means I'm creative. So for sure,
I'll be here.
Definitely throw some stuff out there to you to see what you would. I'd be eager to see what you would do some of the stuff. So yeah, we'll be in touch in a few weeks. I got at the end of this week. I gotta go out of town, but when I get back, put the hat back on. Let's go. Let's work. So keep in touch, brother.
Yep, I will always.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you for your time. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow the Marine Rapper, man. Make sure you do this. He will not disappoint you. He will not let you down. And then you said it's every Tuesday that you do the daily
live. The daily live is every day.
Okay, so it's every day. What time?
Every single day at 10 a.m. PST.
Man, make sure y'all get up on that, man. I'm about to see if I can get up on that. I can't do it tomorrow because it's a flight day for me, but I'm gonna definitely be trying to be up on that. So if you see,
I do it every day. I do it every day.
10, so and that's 10 PDT, right? Pacific
10 a.m.
Standard Time. Okay. Make sure that y'all like and subscribe and follow the TMR, man. This brother's on he's got something. He's got something that not everybody got. So make sure that y'all like and subscribe, support, and do your due diligence on them if you got questions. Like and subscribe to Beat, man. This is the type of talent, the type of imagery, the type of everything that we want to have. Just stories, man. Share Black stories, man. Share everybody's stories, because we all breathe the same air, man. Real life. Thank you, TMR, man. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure, and hope to just keep doing business with you in the future, man. I'm a supporter. I'm gonna continue to support for sure. Lisa Chaser, Axiom, just everybody that's been in the chat, been blowing it up and been engaging. Mad love, mad shouts out. You guys are awesome. Make sure you hit up the Beat. If you got any questions, I'd be more than happy to showcase anybody that's out there who is doing incredible things. Again, I'm Donnie B, got the beats. We live on the beat, and we about to be out. Take care. Have a good one.